Seraph literally just like we sitting here, light novel
Yeah.
readers, be
Right.
like,
Just sit there.
Yeah.
Oh, you read the light novel?
Yes.
Ah, man.
That's why,
feel
like, JC always be having questions, and I'm like,
I be looking at him like watching the reaction of the camera, like what is he gonna say? Is his face gonna
Yeah, that's
change?
what I do the whole stream too, is watch Sarah's face.
no.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, what's up, Christian? How you doing, bro?
Are we live, bro?
Yes.
We live, baby.
Yeah. Don't worry about me. I'm just eating Cheez-Its.
Jesus is nasty, by the way.
Wait, what?
Stop.
They are.
Take that back.
No,
Take that back.
Hold on. What was I gonna I was gonna ask a question. I don't remember.
Disrespect on Cheez-Its. Need to stop.
I don't remember. I really don't remember. Oh, Mang D Moon. Have I seen you here before? I think he might be in Discord now. Gang, though.
Hey, what up, Jamal? What up, Blaine?
Yo. What they do?
How are y'all?
Are you guys
Stop
talking to
playing.
your viewers?
Stop.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys-
Yeah.
We're just in
come
chat right
here.
now.
I'll send you the link to the thing.
Yeah. Send
It's
them
gonna
in.
be in the Discord chat.
See, cheeses are nasty. Thank you, Blaine. Because
Cheez-Its are not nasty.
JD has no
yeah.
taste.
That's to the
JD has
channel,
no
I
taste.
guess.
That's how I heard.
Cheeses are not nasty. Cheeses are not nasty.
Thank
I
you,
know.
Trent.
Trent don't eat nothing but troll it anyways. He don't know taste anyway, so no. He don't like slime. So
What did I
Is
send
Chipotle
that
not
and
fire?
Chipotle, I got had Chipotle today, yesterday, day before that.
Exactly. nigga.
But
Look,
still,
look.
hold on. Almost every day Chipotle. Anyways,
You Lothar.
Yeah,
Blasphemy.
Lothar JC's calling cheese. It's nasty.
Blasphemy with
Or
these people.
cheese it nasty.
it is kind of nasty though. What kind of drink you drink? You drinking water? Because I mean,
Cool.
you. What in the
He's
world
got
is
brisk
that?
iced
Brisk?
tea.
Ew, that's not even sweet
Hey.
tea.
I approve.
Where are you from?
Where are you from?
You from Louisiana? What you doing to brisk iced tea from?
Don't get mad at me because we got better food.
You
over there.
disgusting. Ew. What?
All
Out the
right.
box too? Okay. I can't do this anymore. I'm off the stream, but out the box, you didn't put your hands in it. You just to the face.
I don't really put my hands in it. Go straight to the head. Pause.
Exactly. Why
Those
hasn't
taste
his
like
father
cardboard
returned
and
home yet?
shattered dreams, says Jamal.
Yeah, that is true.
Y'all are some haters today.
Yeah, why hasn't his father returned home yet? Like for real?
Look, didn't you hear the man say it's a prophecy going on?
He talked about
Just
the
like he
prophecy at the
prophesied.
beginning, but still, like he could have
It's all going according to plan.
he could have
That
said
man has a plan.
said
He'll-
hey to
he'll-
his wifey or something. Like she has seen
Nah,
him in
it's
how
gonna-
many years?
It's gonna mess everything up.
He eating
Hold on, let me-
Cheez-Its and it's gross. John.
Y'all are some haters, bro. Blame Seraph. He the one eating chicken wings. It ain't offer.
How
Huh?
you gonna offer? He's in like Minnesota.
That
Or
ain't the-
something. Where is
Not
he
the
at? I don't
point,
even know.
AC. It's not the damn point where he is. It's the point of offering.
Hold on, chill, bro.
What's up, Holly?
Hi,
Hello,
Ollie.
Holly. How are you doing? I haven't
Hey, what
I
up,
haven't
John?
talked to you in a minute.
He's been gone for 10 years. Like, of course, you gotta see his wife. But what's going on?
Look, man, there's a whole prophecy that needs to be fulfilled, and he is helping this prophecy be fulfilled.
Heck, didn't you hear that, man?
Helping it by watching Japan get like punched in the
Demolished, yeah,
face?
dude.
Come on.
I don't know.
It's not just
be like
Japan,
that.
it's the world.
It
What y'all
be
talking
like
about?
that, bruv.
Hey, man, you need to let the prophecy go
Man, I
through.
don't
You
work
need to let it
tomorrow,
happen.
so
Don't intervene. Oh, Seraph hype. Nah, he ain't got to work tomorrow.
Y'all
Yep.
work tomorrow?
because I gotta double check everything, and
All right, let's go ahead and get the show on the road.
Oh, yes. Oh, what's up? Oh, I'm about to
Wait,
say
why-
Sapper reacts in the chat, but he's literally here. And this is, you know what?
you know, we're all in the chat, but we're here.
This is true. This is true. It's even I was about to say not Trent, but there you go. There you go, right there. Hey, Trent. All right. What's up, everybody? We're back, Hunters Association podcast here, and we are going to discuss Solo Leveling Chapter 131. with a lot of shit going down in this chapter, everybody, and we don't know what the hell is going on. We don't know this prophecy. We don't know why Jin Woo's dad won't say hi to his family. We don't know why Jin Woo collapsing, and we don't know why he's sleeping. We don't know nothing. Okay, we just don't know. But we're gonna get into all this. We're gonna try to figure it out. And Sarah, shut up. We know you know everything. But let's start off with the introduction. Sarah, Project Wilson. How you doing, fam?
Doing all right, man. Playing more Cyberpunk and working.
More Cyberpunk. Or you gonna be playing Cyberpunk tomorrow since you ain't got to work, huh?
Yes, sir.
Sounds about right. JC, aka Always J Carson. How are you doing?
I'm great, but is Cyberpunk really that good? Because I mean,
Yes.
it is that.
I never played that yet.
See what I'm saying? Like everybody's
I
talking
heard
about
pretty
it.
good things from it, but
Yeah, I honestly didn't plan on playing
It's good. It's good so far. I'm playing it.
Bro.
Hmm.
We'll see how it ends up, but so far it's good.
Okay, no, but I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. And Trent motherfucking Money, y'all already know who it is.
Come on, man. Y'all already know who it is. Gang.
Right.
I wish I had something like. Can y'all think of something like that in the chat for me? Like JC, you already. I need something like that. I need it. I need it in my intros.
Y'all, it's your boy
Yeah.
JC. What it do?
I need something like that in my intro. I don't know what it is.
Everybody in the chat, please help JC think of a tagline.
Thank you.
Thank you. And of course, y'all know who I am, JD from TheOtakuFix. What it do? And of course, with us, we have a very special guest. If you watched the beginning at the end podcast last night, you know who he is. But if you didn't, Savvy Reacts. How you doing, fam?
pretty good, man. What's going on, everyone? Boy Savvy here. Back into this heat.
You enjoyed the chapter today?
Let me feel some type of way at the end, but I mean, all in all, it was a pretty good chapter. Yeah, we'll get into it.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Solo leveling 131. I don't even know where to start. I guess we'll start with the big piece that happened. One of the big pieces that happened. Jin Woo trying to explain to Woo Jin Cho about the system in a very discreet way, not coming right out and saying, hey, there's this system that I've been using and cheating, leveling up while y'all still trash. But
That's trash.
right. But he was like, how you figured out about this double dungeon? I got a message in my head that you can't see.
JC, I just blessed you in the chat.
Here's what I'll take 10% of all future earnings, JC.
Oh wow.
What it do, baby? It's always JC back again to bring you guys solo motherfucking leveling.
What it do, baby?
I'm like,
It's JC.
Too many words.
Back at it again to bring you guys some soul level.
Too many words.
Oh, man. Okay.
It'll come
Finesse
natural.
that dog.
Keep on
Oh
doing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
You always
Forward
have
me that
a great thing. It's always J Carson, aka JC 2002.
That's my old one. Seraph, why?
Not the
It's
YouTube channel.
perfect though.
Don't read
it's no longer
Christians.
YouTube.
Let's forget Christians.
Same
'cause
name, Sarah.
Christians a hater right now. I don't like it.
It's always J.
Wait, what?
New girl, see?
Yeah, hold on. We're not talking about the new one. Just let it go. Chai's still baby girl number one. It's just like they keep throwing. Anyways, we'll get to that later. Anyway.
All right.
All right, so back to the discussion at hand. What did y'all think about Jin Woo trying to discreetly explain this system or this way that he gets messages in his head that lets him know things before they happen?
Okay, let's explain it like this, right? If someone asks you a question, just in normal life, and they say, "How did you know this was gonna happen?" It's like something told me inside my head. You're like, "Oh, can we see it?" No, you can't see it. It's just only I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll look at you like, "You're crazy. Something's wrong with you."
Mm-hmm.
Is this how you became so strong?
Exactly. You
Being
can't so strong
crazy?
because you're crazy. Like nobody else can see it, and he explained it like it was nothing. Like this is normal behavior for anybody.
It's normal for him. I mean, he's been used to it for so long, bro. It's like second nature. He don't even think about it. It's just like
This is Jin Woo in general. Everybody else in the world knows that He likes him, but he can't figure it out because Jin Woo is aloof to the world.
That's like every main MC, though.
Not every
You
man.
never know they have feelings
That's pretty much every damn MC, bro.
That's not Arthur. Arthur knows that the girls like him.
Yeah,
That's Arthur though.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't. No.
He's still a little
He's a
kid.
king,
bro.
okay?
Yeah.
He
He
knows
was a
this stuff.
king. He knows this.
Yeah.
I guess.
He had concubines back in his day. Get out that man.
And with Arthur, he's probably conflicted about being like 30-something in his old life, being in a kid's body that's like only 12. So he's probably thinking, should I even be attracted to these girls? Or like, so he's dealing with a lot. I'm assuming.
You gotta let that man live, bro.
Yeah.
He still said it like it was normal, like a normal talking point.
I think there was so much on his mind, he didn't really care to like explain it in depth to them.
Like he asked the question, like, "How did you know this was gonna happen?" He's like, "Oh, because I got a message, in my head, and nobody else can see."
Yeah, I expected to at least get some type of. I said it like right before like the reaction. I expected to get some type of internal dialogue or something like that to be like, okay, what am I gonna do to kind of get out of what they see or what they saw? You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, all the hunters, obviously everything is going to shit, so it may not even be a plot point later on, just because everything is going to shit. But if there's a moment where it gets calm, they're gonna be like, "Yo, Sung Jin Woo, what is going on?" Some people might start to think of him as, a bad guy, or not a bad guy, but a liability at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that he's necessarily bad in nature, but they may think that, how people used to just like, burn the witches and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They're just gonna use him as like, yo, like they're just gonna be freaked out at what he is, and they're gonna want to fucking get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't think he was gonna really go into what was going on, but he just said that shit nonchalantly. So I like I said, I have no idea.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah,
I think he just said to say it because he didn't. I mean, I didn't think he would like lie about it, but at the point that he's in now, like, what else would he say? To be honest, like. They already trust him because he already, saved everyone.
They're alive like 50 million times, but
yeah. But I mean,
I guess there really is no reason to hide it at this point. Like Mr. Beck, or I call Thundercat, like literally he's already pretty much figured it out that it's continuously leveling. But like if everybody else sat down like and thought about it, like he was an E-rank hunter, and if he reawakened, like to be this strong, continuously get stronger, like it's unprecedented. And the only reason why people haven't really figured it out is because there's been so much, so many things happening lately that nobody has time to actually look at it.
Oh, well, it was stated like back in a few chapters though that Bach found out after the Red Gate.
Yeah, he found out. Yeah,
he was like saying like this guy's pretty much leveling now. Like how he's already like stronger, almost as strong as me.
Yeah,
so he kind of like thought about it, but
yeah, he pretty much figured it out. It's still technically a theory in his head, but he's pretty much convinced that this is what it is. But everybody else hasn't figured it out yet. But I figure like if there was a calm in like everything that's happening, they'll figure out like, hold on, this guy, like a child met him before also. And like when she like right before he got Tusk, right before he got Tusk, like she saw him also. She's like, okay, he was this strong when he, fought against Tusk, and he's even stronger now. So if she actually thought and sat down and thought about it, like, I mean, he keeps getting stronger. Like, I don't think he was stronger than Baby Girl back in the day. I think she was still stronger than him back then. Not talking about Chahi and I call her Baby Girl, but still.
We know, baby. We know, Baby Girl. All right, hold on. We need to take a pause in the stream for a quick second, and it's time for drum roll. Trent's theory. Go ahead, Trent. What's your theory, bro?
No, I wanted to wait until we got a little bit into the discussion just in case something kind of remixed it. But earlier, I'm gonna go ahead and go into it though. But earlier, we were mentioning, and look, Seraph covering his face. But okay, I'm gonna play on what Lothar said in the chat. Jin Woo Dad not only looking like not looking like a good guy, but not human apparently anymore. Now, is there a connect? Like he did say, like who said he was human? Now, maybe he was just surprisingly strong, and he just didn't really register it as human strength. or like what's going on with Sung Jin Woo's dad, and is that does that tie into what Sung Jin Woo is now? You know what I'm saying? Or is that like a reason why Sung Jin Woo is chosen to do this? Like, does Daddy Woo have a tie with the prior monarch? You know what I'm saying? Again, what's Daddy Woo's ties into this? And it wasn't really a theory. It was just a little question. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of marination.
What was your question again?
Oh, okay. If I could summarize it, in the chapter, Yuri Olaf said that there was somebody watching him, and he didn't describe him as human. So when I was reading, I was like, there's some sort of like monster out there that's watching him. But then we see Jinwoo's dad on the building, and he's like, why are you describing this guy as someone who's not human? This wasn't the first time that he's been described as, not being human. When he first got introduced, he was described as being something different, like he was a monster outside of the gate when he was first introduced. So he's trying to figure out like what's going on with Jinwoo's dad that he is not being seen as a human. Is it his strength? Is there something that happened in the past, or something that happened when he was, banished or forgotten about in the gate for so long? Like, what happened to his dad, and why is he not considered human?
Maybe it has something to do with the system, or what was previously the system.
I think it might have something to do with like maybe the Silver Soldiers that was introduced in Jinwoo's flashback per se. Because like on the Monarchs, they kind of presented them as like the evil side, and then like those Silver Soldiers look like they were like the good people. So maybe he has ties with them, so he knows some part of the prophecy. It would be kind of weird to see him as like some kind of monarch. So I wouldn't think he's a player. I would think he's like on the opposite side of what Jinwoo is. That's why he probably was like looking after Jinwoo throughout like the whole years and everything. Who knows? But I feel like he knew what's coming since he felt this prophecy was coming to fruition towards the end. But I have no idea. He just comes and goes.
That's the thing about it. So when you look at the memories, you see things that we recognize, as in you see the monarchs, you see elves, you see giants, you see all these things we've seen before, but then you see the Silver Soldiers that look like angels, and they haven't been formally introduced to the story. So you got to ask yourself, when are they going to be introduced to the story, and which side are they on? And if they're fighting a war, they got to be against the monarchs. So how are they going to introduce them for the story? And that could be the introduction to the story with Jinwoo's dad.
I think it might be they could probably introduce that in the story when we actually find out where all the other hunters originate their power, where they get their power from, because we know Jinwoo gets it from monarchs, and that's like
Miss Selner. There we go again, Miss Selner, what she's talking about.
Yeah, that's like on the dark side, like his monarch powers, compared to like the powers like the natural rank hunters get. Like I'm
brilliant
assuming,
light.
Yeah, so they're like the kings. So I feel like that might be on the side of the Silver Soldiers.
Okay.
And then when we get more information about like maybe the natural rank hunters, and Jinwoo might find out some more, he might connect the dots like, hey, maybe that's what my dad was or something. I don't know. But I feel like he's on like that side of the power. And when we get more information about all the powers with all the hunters, I feel like it originates from those Silver Soldiers. Because if we see, there's one thing that I saw in the chapter. When they saw all those monsters, there was a big ass wolf. You guys remember that big ass white wolf?
Definitely.
Oh, the dire wolf that was in there, bro?
Yeah, I was thinking like possibly maybe it might be a reach, but maybe that's the source of Bok's power.
Huh.
Because he has wolf abilities, he could transform. I'm not saying like he's like a apostle of that like wolf guy, but maybe like he has a portion of their abilities, because like that dude was like on the other side of the monarchs. So it just leads me to believe like we know like he's not part of like the dark side or like any dark abilities like a monarch. So could have some abilities like that. Not too sure, but kind of left me questioning it.
So maybe the hunter's powers come from whatever the war was back then, and pretty much that's how they get awakened and they gain whatever powers or whatever they come across. Something like that.
That's what I feel.
I just feel like I don't know if they're like reincarnations, like the monarchs are reincarnations, and they keep, every time they die, there's someone born with the monarch's power, or they're given the monarch's power, or like the monarchs seem to be like on the same side and continually on the same side. Since they saw like the war in the past, the monarchs were there. We saw Baron back in the day, and then we saw him again. So are we? The monarchs.
Well, that Baron was like part of the system. That wasn't like the original, actual demon monarch. He was like part of the system which is like a somewhat mediocre version of him, which I assumed because he's part of that system that Jinwoo fought. Because the original Baron, like from what we've seen, like he's pretty much dead.
Right. Yes, he is dead.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like when we found out, like in the beginning, like when we found out the dungeons were opening out of nowhere, maybe like they lost the war because the monsters came out, and then the Silver Soldiers decided to give powers to the humans to try to combat all the monsters coming from the dungeon.
Well, yeah, so they did a couple chapters ago say that there is a balance. So the more gates are opening, then more people were actually becoming reawakened. So they did say there was a balance. So the more gates that are happening, the more people were getting more power. So there's a balance there. So, I mean, it's pretty much, in my opinion, only it's setting up for monarchs versus the angels. In my opinion, only. That's what I feel like. I'm not sure how it translates to today's time because of the monarchs now. I'm not seeing the angels now. Unless we're talking about the Brilliant Light, Miss Solner, and the nation level hunters, and then that could be it. But I'm not sure yet.
I feel like the national encounters are maybe like the apostles of the Silver Soldiers, maybe like the high end ones that have the most portion of their powers. That's what I think. Well, I think it will make sense too, because when they came in, like the monarchs, how do I explain this? This is like kind of confusing. So I feel like after like the monarchs betrayed this like shadow monarch, he was like probably trying to like keep the balance, and then like the original monarchs were maybe like pissed off, and that's why he got betrayed, which in turn probably like caused them to like win the war. That's how like all the dungeons are opening up, and like so many dungeons are opening up around the world. And that's why I think like the dad is coming in, because maybe he's like the person from the light side waiting until all this to happen for him to finally show himself, and kind of like Jinwoo could see it and get more answers from him too. Maybe that'll like put all the pieces together, because I feel like he's going to play a big part, but it's interesting to see how. And I feel like if he's on the light side, it will kind of make sense.
Well, the dad did say something about a calamity coming forth like forever ago, and now he's saying that the prophecy is coming forth now.
So the calamity is kind of what we said a while back, which was probably the dungeon break in Japan.
True.
I mean,
or like all the dungeons open up around the world.
Exactly.
Like, at the exact same time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I thought it was just Japan. But then next thing you know, we figured out like there's literally S-rank dungeon gates like everywhere, breaking all over the world. Like I thought it was just Japan. No, you're talking about the entire world.
And freaking India.
Right.
That's what threw me off. Like not just Japan, the entire world. So that's why I was like, okay, if people wanted to just get rid of the S-rank gate, you could, Jinwoo could handle it. A nation level will probably come in and swoop in and handle it. But you're talking about the entire world. The entire world is like threatened right now. Like you have a world-ending threat happening. So I mean, like, I wasn't ready for that.
With that being said, and I don't know how you guys took it, but when at the end of the chapter, he's getting kind of caught up to speed, and it's seeming as if Jinho is basically like during those last panels telling us, or it's basically maybe in the midst of telling him what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's not happening simultaneously as he wakes up. It may have happened somewhere in between those 3 days where he was out.
I'm thinking what he's telling Jinwoo is what already transpired, and we're just getting the story.
flashback of it.
So here's
Yeah, the
the thing
flashback.
now. Here's the thing now. How much of humanity is left?
How much
Because
of Japan
this,
is
In
left?
Japan, at least.
Yeah, in Japan.
yeah, but
I
if they're
would say
breaking
nothing.
simultaneously, if they're breaking
Nothing?
simultaneously,
Well,
these-
no,
Jen
they said
asked
that they were
specifically
popping up
about
around the
Japan.
world.
Yeah, but they
They
didn't break all together.
They
Jen
didn't
was
break all at
specifically
once.
asking about Japan.
so right
So-
now we're under the assumption that this is the only
Break.
gate that's broken, right?
Yeah.
As of right now, at least.
Which is still may be a reach of an assumption, but
It could
depending
be.
upon how. But again, this man came through and sliced a city. He sliced multiple buildings. Through a
Did?
barrier.
He did?
Japan is done for.
Yes.
Nobody was there. Japan was done. Or when was the last we seen Orlon? I'm assuming the next chapter we get.
Yeah, he did.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick a fork in him. He done.
I mean, we kind of foretold that when he first showed up.
We
So
was like, bro,
It's like his old
I mean, he wasn't banking on like a bigger giant to come out.
Well,
Okay.
of course not.
After he was like stating that he's not going to defeat the dungeon, he was just going to like hold it together for it not to open. I just figure he's just like a plot convenience for Jinwoo when he gets clapped by those giants. I'm assuming Jinwoo's going to actually know about it, and then Jinwoo's going to step in and like show off his powers or something. So I feel like
Right.
he wasn't even going to survive that long. He's
Yeah,
just
but
there.
Yeah, we all pretty much guess that it's like
Yeah.
this is Jinwoo's. No,
Yeah, I know.
bro,
I knew he
come
was
on.
gonna
We
I
said
knew
that
he was
a
gonna
long
get
time
embarrassed,
ago.
for sure.
Okay, look. We
Yeah,
knew he
you
wasn't
were
gonna make it.
get clapped, and Jinwoo's gonna go in and save the day. We
Okay,
said
But
that.
here's the thing: if this is not going to be that's the thing. At this point in time, if this is a recap story, yes, it'll still be him coming in and saving the day ish. But Japan is going to basically be basically recovering Japan back rather than saving Japan. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? This is
I don't
going to
know.
be taking the
Right.
you know if they've overran. Let's say this happened day 2 of his 3-day coma basically.
Hiatus.
If there is still things for him left to go slay type shit, it's over.
No.
That means they've ran through probably multiple S-rank hunters.
You gotta.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They only had 15 hunters, S-rank hunters there.
I think
So-
y'all forgetting something very important.
What's that?
Like literally, have y'all forgotten about the dude that was literally about to go toe to toe with a monarch that is literally on a building, standing there?
Right.
Jinwoo's dad is not going to interfere.
Why would he not interfere?
That's what I'm saying. That's the thing. Okay, if he interferes,
The reason
then
why
that
he's
makes sense.
not going to interfere because he hasn't interfered since he arrived.
He tried
he's
to
here,
interfere the first time when he met the monarchs. Did he not try to attack them?
Bro, how much you want to bet? You want to put something on?
He tried to
I
confront
want to get
monarchs, and then
I
the
don't
monarchs-
know about you. I can't.
You want to put a Chipotle bowl? I got a
wanna get in on
Chipotle
that.
bowl. He ain't gonna interfere.
I want to get.
I don't think so either. I feel like if he was going to interfere, he will most
He
likely
would have
interfere
done so.
with the island.
I want to get.
Because
that
that dungeon's been there for that's like their 3rd or 4th time actually trying to defeat the dungeon, and that was in Korea, which has his family. So like if he still cares for his family and he wanted to intervene, I feel like he probably would have already done it if he was able to. I feel like maybe something's stopping him, or he's waiting for the right moment, or waiting for Jinwoo to reach a certain potential to actually tell him the truth or something like that.
Okay.
So I feel like he's just waiting for the right time. I don't think he will actually step in until that happens.
Okay, see, the thing about it is with Jinwoo's dad is he came out of the gate. He can't transport, as far as we know, he can't transport like the other monarchs do. So therefore, he came out of a gate in the United States. So, like you say, there's a whole ocean between them. So he had to get from United States to Korea. So he has to transport the normal way. So I'm not sure if he had any money. I'm not sure what took him so long. So we don't know what's been happening to Jinwoo's dad between the United States and Korea. He's in Japan now. So we don't know.
But how
what
would
could
he get
happen.
to Japan from the United States though?
I mean, after he
probably
bodied that one
He's a
dude,
beast.
I mean, he could have
He's a beast.
negotiated something. I don't know.
He ran.
No.
He's a beast.
Yeah,
Now,
you're right.
My dude
Look.
running across the water.
Now, that's the thing. If Japan is still intact, his dad interfering is one of the few things that would make sense as far as Japan being still
Not
intact.
totally
Because
decimated.
Even though he hasn't done much so far, to JC's point, he did already try to attack the other monarchs, and he's here now. He's clearly here now for a reason. If he's bad, then okay, he walks away and does whatever his story plot is or whatever. But if he's on our side, he's not going to just sit there and watch it happen.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
So you think he's going to intervene?
He may just look around and intervene.
I don't
you
think.
Want to put a Chipotle bowl on it?
I will put, and that is why I put a Chipotle bowl on it, because I'm gonna give him the hope of, even though y'all know me, I'm gonna go. I want to say one of them is an evil woo.
Remember, you think Japan is going to be destroyed? That's what you're saying is going to happen?
Japan is going to be destroyed. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he steps in Japan at all.
Yeah, Japan is done.
Yeah.
So he's just going to sit there and watch Japan to be destroyed?
Yes, this man is letting the prophecy go how it's supposed to go. Why would he intervene?
Well, no, it may not be that he's letting it go how it's supposed to go. He may know what the prophecy is. It may not have anything to do with him doing anything about it. He may know it and be there because he knows what's coming. You know what I'm saying? He could be there to intervene, but he also knows that it's going as according to what he's heard or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He didn't necessarily say either way, like, yes, this is the perfect, he wasn't hyped about it. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't like, this is his perfect plan. He was more just like, okay, this is going as expected. So, and he's there for it. So he's there for it for one reason or the other. So I guess we're going to, at that point, figure out if he's evil woo.
So he's there to just literally watch the prophecy happen? Literally from
I think he's there to like watch Jinwoo fulfill the prophecy. Because I feel like some reason Jinwoo might be the chosen one. Because the original Shadow Monarch, he was the one that was like trying to kind of balance everything. And that's why he got betrayed by like his own fellow monarchs. And since Jinwoo is like the new Shadow Monarch, maybe he's going to be the chosen one to make that balance happen. And maybe that's when he's actually going to wait for the prophecy to like almost be fulfilled. And maybe that's when he's going to step in and do something.
See, that's where I disagree, because whenever he went to the past and there's no balance because the Shadow Monarch said, I was about to win the war. I was about to end the fighting until the other monarch stepped in and betrayed him. So he asked that question, like, why did you stop me? I was about to win, because he was winning that war. Then other armies showed up and betrayed him. So they want balance, but they didn't want him to win for whatever reason.
They probably thought it was an easier way to kill him somehow, some way. When they found out he was betrayed, the other monarchs tried to like probably kill him so they could take over, or whatever power he had against the other monarchs. Maybe he was the leader of the other monarchs, and they just had an opportunity to
to betray him. But
yeah,
he felt like he was fighting a war, and they stopped him. And they stopped him from winning that war. It's like, I'm about to end the fighting, but you got stopped. I don't know why though.
Probably because like he was winning the war with the shadows, and then when they saw that he was winning, that's when they betrayed him. Because at the point, most of the Silver Soldiers were already probably defeated, and they were probably thinking, "Okay, bet we don't really need him. Let's kill and take over the Monarch Empire and just reign supreme." And maybe that's why all the dungeons are opening up, and that's probably why the Silver Soldiers were like, "Fuck, we can't do anything now. Let's give powers to the humans." And maybe Jinwoo's dad was one of the chosen ones. I wouldn't say maybe he's different from like the natural ranks, but I feel like he's part of one of the people that got the powers from the Silver Soldiers to be a part of this prophecy, because maybe they couldn't do anything at the moment, because we see the monarchs itself. We saw like the elf one and the beast monarch, but we haven't seen like any other kind of like Silver Soldier monarch versions or like archangels. So maybe they're like held captive or something, and they could only give out powers to certain people in the world to hopefully fulfill what they couldn't.
But here's the thing, like, if that would be the case, they didn't make humans strong enough. Then that's why I would counter it, just because like they didn't make humans. They didn't, because we don't have enough. We don't have enough unless you can count Sung Jin-woo in that. Even if you want to count Sung Jin-woo in that, you don't have enough. Because let's say even in this dungeon that we've seen, when it comes to the real shit popping off, even in this dungeon that we've seen, Orlov was like, okay, these are like everybody else was shocked. Everybody else was like, yo, this is the top tier monster you would see in a gate, and this is the first thing coming out. Orlov was the only one that was like, okay, like this is the only like I can handle this though. You know, there's not enough hunters to be able to handle that level of threat all around the world type stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's not enough hunters to where there's multiple dungeons full of low tier or high tier A rank to low tier S rank monsters. We don't even know what the fuck rank this big dude is, but I'm assuming he's top brass. I'm assuming he's monarch. I'm assuming he's giant monarch. Some people in my comments already disagreed, but if there's a monarch of the other creatures, I'm assuming he may be giant monarch.
I feel like there's a giant monarch, but at the same time, the story's already said that there's a balance happening. So I feel like for some reason, I don't know why people keep disagreeing with me. Maybe because I'm wrong, but I think nation levels are entirely like they're way stronger than people give them credit for. The fact that I think nation levels are somewhere near the monarch's levels, like that's like you're not gonna put them in the story. I mean, Jinwoo would eventually surpass them.
I don't know. I don't know if I could say that.
I think he's already like surpassed them.
Really? How?
Yeah, I don't know.
Come on,
the nation levels are monarch level.
Why
I don't
not?
know if I can say that.
Why not?
Because if you think about
we haven't seen the monarchs do anything. We haven't seen the nation levels do anything besides the Chinese one.
The national level hunter in China, he even stated after the end of Jeju Island raid, he was going over it when he saw the broadcast saying, dang, if I was there to like face the Ant King, it would be fun. So like
fun.
Yeah, he said that, but like if he was way stronger, which you're assuming like he's way stronger than Jinwoo, and Jinwoo clapped him, how would he find that fun if it's going to be a wash?
Because
like I feel like it would be like a challenge for him to like test his abilities out because he saw how strong he is. But if he was like really strong, like it would be like, yo, like
okay,
come on,
okay. You don't.
If also look at this, JC, it took what was it, 6 or 7 S rank hunters to be commissioned back in the day, and that's those same national level hunters that we had today.
No, it's not. I don't know if they're the same, but at the same time, look, if you
are the same,
it's the same as
okay,
Thomas Andre.
It's the same.
Okay, if a video game is fun, you don't things they think that you might not be able to win are not fun. Like nation level hunters are so strong to everybody else that like any other gate they go into is not a challenge. An S rank gate to them is a challenge. Like the Jeju Island gate was S rank gate. It's like, look, this thing is actually strong enough to give me somewhat of a challenge. Jinwoo didn't.
No, that would have been that would have been an actual test of his strength. Like that fun is meaning.
But you don't know that though. He's saying it's fun. Jinwoo got it.
If they're like really that strong, how could someone like Goto think he could become a national rank country though?
Exactly. But Goto was
assuming. Because he was like saying if I could get everything right, all my ducks in a row, if I defeat this Jeju Island raid, I could become a national rank hunter.
Just on accolades alone though. Because
and we've already established that a lot of being tiered as a nation rank hunter is feat based. Like the lines between the S rank and the nation rank hunter are slightly blurred between the feats. And again, just like Savvy's point, to Sung Jinwoo, Jeju Island wasn't no fun little test of like his ability. That was like I gotta go handle. That's a milk run. He had to go handle it, and it wasn't even a stressor. I've been saying for a long time that nation rank hunters are not on Sung Jinwoo's level.
Okay, so to that point, whenever there was a captain on the ship, and they were talking about what's spotter dude's name? I forgot his name already.
Talking about Goto?
Yeah, Goto Ryuji. They're talking about him and how he would be a nation ranked hunter, and they said that if you compared him to the nation level hunter of China, it was not comparable. It was only on accolades only. He was strong. He's strongest in Japan. But when it came to nation ranked hunter, it was accolades only, and that it was the total difference between power. So therefore,
but we already understand we can't judge S ranks on power. They have no measurement. So
according to nation rank hunter, so that's what I'm saying. Like you don't look at Baru that's out here taking out like Chahi and all these other Korean hunters that's supposed to be strong, and think that's gonna be fun.
I feel like Baru is closer to national rank hunter than Jinwoo is. in strength. I feel like Jinwoo is way stronger than the national rank hunters right now. Because if they're that strong, why would they not just go to Korea, defeat the dungeon, and get all the money? Just like how
Thomas
just
Andre.
like how Yuri went to Japan. He was like, let me hold this gate for like $3 billion.
Okay, you
like
remember,
if it's that
Japan barely had the money for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
you remember what Thomas Andre said about the Korea dungeon? He said, if you got the money, I'll go there and handle it for you.
Right.
Exactly. He was not scared. He
Thomas
had the
Andre
aura
is
going.
like-
He's like, let me go ahead and handle this for you.
About Baru.
Now, keep in mind, though, we've already seen what big talk these motherfuckers do. And talk is cheap because they said they were gonna handle it.
Look,
But
all I'm
I've
gonna
already
say.
said he would-
No, bro. No,
All I'm gonna
JC.
say is my
No.
besides Seraph here is that my light novel readers in the chat are saying Thomas Andre is a beast. So I'm looking at that.
You should scroll up and read mine. I said put respect on his name, cuz.
Exactly, put his respect on his name. Like y'all up here, I'm telling you,
Let me
nation level
ask Seraph
hunters
this.
are not nothing to play with.
Let me
Saying,
I'm telling you,
But so
I'm
you guys
me
talk
ask
about
Seraph
good.
nation
I'm good.
nation rank hunters,
Hold
on.
but they did
I got
state
one.
that. Oh, go ahead, Trent.
No, go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say they did state the reason why they were nation rank hunters because they cleared the commission dungeon, right? There was
Mhm.
about 115, 120 S rank hunters that went into that dungeon with them.
They died though.
Exactly.
They only survived because of those 112 people.
I
They were
don't
doing
know.
S6 to survive.
and that was the
Thank you,
S-rank
Jamal. Jamal, thank
Right.
you.
And that was
S-rank
an
dungeon.
S rank dungeon, right?
I'm trying
And
to say,
Jinwoo-
JC, if
Jinwoo washed
these
one.
nation, but what I'm saying is, if these nation level hunters are that strong, it would not have taken
But
all of
that
them
was
to
2
be
years
commissioned
into-
We don't know anything
And
about
we
Commish
already-
though. We don't know anything about
Commish
it.
dropped 2 years after they discovered their hunter
No.
powers, I think. Right?
Now,
We
we
already
don't know
know they
anything
don't
about
grow
Commish.
stronger. They're not Jinwoo. They're not going to grow stronger.
Right. So do you think that
They're
okay? Do
insane.
you think that Commish is on Baron level?
We don't
Were you
know
scared
anything
Commish
about
versus
Commish
Baron?
though. That's the thing about it. We don't know anything
All
about
we
it.
know is
That's right.
Commish was a
Yeah.
gigantic dragon that could breathe fire and shit.
Hey, Conceal. He had Conceal. Now,
Yes, but there's a difference. They said he was like the Lord of Dragons or something like that.
right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that's basically 2-on-1 when it comes to
And
Baron.
Conceal's
I
a
was-
wyvern. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind that here's the question I want to ask Sarah. Do you think, in your opinion, if Japan would have had whatever Thomas Andre wanted to take the gate out, would he have been capable of taking this gate out, knowing at least the little bit about what came out of it now? Because again, talk is cheap. Motherfuckers is gonna keep saying they can take these gates out until they know what's really behind.
Blaze say that's
You
a
know,
spoiler.
I
I
can't
don't-
say that. Yeah, no, I was about to say what Blaine's saying. That I am not allowed to disclose.
I don't think we'll
Okay,
be able
so-
to handle it, to be honest.
I'm
So I
thinking
feel
that,
like
and that's what I'm
that-
thinking.
why are we
big giant's
disrespecting
probably
nation
like
levels like
S-rank.
this?
They need a team. JC, they cannot do this by themselves. They need a squad. That
You're
is
talking
the
about
whole
S ranked hunters. You're not talking about nation level.
guaranteed. It
Okay.
Semi
Semi night level or light novel
They
reader.
took
I
all
get it.
nation level hunters to defeat one S rank in America.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and if you think about it, at the Jeju Island raid, the boss for that S rank dungeon was actually the queen, and it was just there for so long. Brew was able to level up, so he was probably way stronger than regular S rank dungeon bosses.
Yeah,
And then
but
Jin
they
still washed him. He still clapped him.
They killed
That's
the queen
what I'm
before
saying,
Jin even
bro.
got there.
But
Right,
bro,
but they
that's what I'm
wasn't
saying.
taking
It takes
Baru.
all of them
I don't think
S
so.
rank hunters to beat a S rank gate. It takes multiple. One nation rank is not gonna go in there and wash it.
That's what I'm saying. And now keep in mind.
Y'all are
now keep in mind-
ridiculous.
Keep in mind here as well.
I mean, it makes
It
sense.
wasn't even going to take. They were going without saying Jinwoo. They were going to lose. It wasn't that they had what 16, 15 to 17 niggas, and they were going to lose. Yes, they took the queen out. The thing is, the queen wasn't the queen, though she was in the S rank dungeon or whatever. Though she was powerful or whatever, and could control all the other ants, she wasn't the issue. Baru was the issue. He was taking 3 S ranks at a time. It was a smorgasbord. It was bodies.
I don't know who to believe. Like I hear what you guys are saying. I keep reading the chat, and my light novel readers are talking about like Thomas Archer with a wash brew. If I see that, what do you want me to believe?
That's
But we haven't seen it though.
That's
That's the thing. That's the thing about it. Like if you say nation, like okay, us to go back a little bit. If you're talking about when they first introduced the leveling system and they started comparing each rank to each rank, was it like, what was it, 10 S rank hunters to whatever? I can't remember what it was. Somebody in the chat can remember that comparison. But like nation levels, like there's no story in anime, manga, webtoons, or whatever. You're gonna introduce a nation level person and say, oh well, the main character is already way stronger than nation levels, even though we haven't even seen them do anything yet.
So you think a nation level hunter could take out a monarch 1-on-1? Are you saying that?
I think they're comparable.
Hey, people saying
I think they're comparable.
The MC has a shadow monarch. Like if they made that comparable, it would even make sense for the power scaling.
How?
Because Juliu's going to be like the strongest in the verse, I'm assuming at the end of everything.
At the end
he's
of everything,
already any regular human. He should be stronger than. But I guess that does throw what his dad did say or said today does throw a little wrench in it as far as like not being surprised where the power comes from. But again, I'm already assuming Sung Jin Woo is stronger than these nation rank hunter guys. People in the chat are saying Thomas Andre is handling Jeju Island easily. That's really hard to believe.
Okay. Let's quit.
Even if he did, my point
Solo
is
Dolo? Are we talking Solo Dolo?
My point is, it took 112 niggas to beat a S rank dungeon. 112 S ranks. That's my point.
Okay.
That is my point that I'm bringing up.
Okay, let's put it this way, right? Okay, you can say that.
At 112.
So
what makes us think that they're that much stronger?
I got you right here. Answer this question for me right here. So you mean to tell me that Jinwoo is going to wake up, clear the Japan dungeon, clear the Europe dungeon, the Ireland, wherever all these other dungeons, you're going to go from dungeon to dungeon, clear every one of them. Who's going to clear
if he wants to, I think he's going to clear.
He's going to clear them all.
Every dungeon.
That's what I'm saying. Who's going to clear them? If Jinwoo doesn't clear them, the S-rank dungeon, who's going to clear them?
I mean, they'll probably figure that out after Japan. After Jinwoo clears
it's going to be
Japan.
nation levels. They're handling the other dungeons. They said in the chapter they're handling them.
And their
They're not
teams
open
are not
yet.
going in there solo.
So you mean that the Jinwoo will go to dungeon, clear them all? The S-rank's going to clear.
No,
the nation levels going to clear the
they're
dungeon.
not even open.
I'm not saying
They don't have to be
going
open yet.
Dungeon to dungeon. No, I'm not saying Jin's going to dungeon to dungeon. I'm saying the nation levels are going with a team. They go with a team. They're not going in there by themselves.
Jinwoo didn't go in there by himself.
Jin Woo went to save their asses by himself.
They were killing everything until Baruch.
Do you
including
think
the queen.
Including the Jin Woo's going to go to Japan by himself?
He didn't go to Japan by himself now. They're already there.
I'm asking you. We know Japan is destroyed. Do you think Jin's going to go by himself or he going to bring people with him?
Of course he's going by himself.
Exactly.
Okay. But Jinwoo has an army, though. You can't compare Jinwoo to anybody else.
That's part of the powers of a monarch, though. Think that's like a monarch.
No, that's Jinwoo. He's a shadow monarch. He has an army with him at all times.
Okay.
Other monarchs do not have that.
That's part of the monarch's power.
Nation level go by himself.
I'm pretty sure they could.
I don't believe it right now, sorry.
No way.
But we haven't seen them. We haven't seen them do anything. So how are you guys going to discount some people that you haven't seen them do anything yet?
Because everybody goes with a team. That is the standard for going on any raid.
That is a standard.
Who you are, you go with a team. Jin Woo is the only exception.
That is a standard for an S rank, not a nation level. You're going to tell me nation levels do what they want to do? Thomas Hardware seems to do exactly what he wants to do.
Just because you can do it, I guarantee.
Exactly, because who gonna stop him?
That's the point. Is going with a team.
Who gonna stop him?
He goes with the scavenger guild. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't go by himself.
That's what I'm saying. He's going with a team.
Even if he didn't go by himself, he seems to be okay.
But he needs a whole team though. Like they operate like, like we need to do this and that. Like get all the mana crystals, yada yada yada. Like he's used to working with the team. He needs a team. Like, he doesn't have potions to heal his mana or anything like that. Like, if he gets clapped, he gets clapped. He doesn't have, like, utilities that Jinwoo has. So, like, they can't even be comparable. And just think about this. Like, they get powers from some greater beings, which I'm assuming is just silver soldiers.
All right.
And Jinwoo has powers of the actual monarch. And, like, after the visions, he became, like, the shadow monarch. So, compared to, like, scaling him against someone that just has a portion, of the people's power that they're getting from.
But
Like,
we don't know that though. That's the point. Like here's the thing, right? We're assuming that the monarchs, because Jinwoo has got his powers. Let's hold on. Matter of fact, we haven't even went to the chapter yet. Let's just assume, because we went to the beginning of this season 2, and who was it? The Frost Monarch was there, and whatever other guy's name was there.
The Beast Monarch.
No, he wasn't in it. He was in season 1. It was the other guy, the
whoever he was,
Yogamart, something start with a Y. And they said that the architect would take care of Jinwoo, so they had to worry about him. Okay.
Are you talking about the Frost Monarch or which monarch?
No, the Frost Monarch, and there was another one there with him. The beginning of season 2.
Oh yeah, the Beast Monarch.
No, he wasn't there. It's in the chat.
Oh shit! Really?
Yogamont. It was the guy. He was like kind of like a wizard.
Thank you, Devin.
Yeah, so he was with him. The Beast Monarch was in the end of season 1.
Okay.
So he said that the architect would take care of the Shadow Monarch. So therefore, they thought whatever was going to happen to Jinwoo, he's going to take over his body. The Shadow Monarch would take over his body, and he will be on the Monarch's side. That did not happen. Clearly. So Jinwoo,
what do you mean it didn't happen?
Jinwoo still has control of his own body. He
probably chose him.
So he probably did choose him, but that's not what was expected to happen. He thought that the Shadow Monarch was going to be born. He's going to be on the Monarch's side. But when he came back, he said, "Why are you still here?" The architect did.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So he probably assumed like the Shadow Monarch was going to take his body because he wasn't probably going to choose him. But since he chose him, they overrode his own power and sided with Jinwoo.
So once again, that wasn't his original body. That was not the architect's original body. Like he said, this is not my original body. So he's going to go back to the other monarch and say, hey, what you thought was going to happen, we thought was going to happen, didn't happen. Right? Not original body. They thought that the architect's going to take care of everything, but it didn't happen like the way he planned it's going to happen. So Jinwoo still has his original body. So next thing you know, Jinwoo is going to be on the human side, maybe not on the actual the angel side, but at the same time, we're expecting for the actual monarchs to take over whatever bodies that they're in. Whatever original mind.
I think those are the actual original monarchs.
Exactly.
I think that's the actual bodies.
I don't think that's
the bodies.
Now, why?
Because that one dude looked like an elf, the Frost Monarch. He wasn't like a human.
Yeah,
he was like it's like Ikes or whatever.
But we haven't seen him in the past. The only thing we've seen is Baron, and then we saw the wolf, which I'm going to say is the beast, the beast monarch, the big wolf, the dire wolf.
Yeah,
we haven't seen anybody else from the past. All we saw was those two monarchs. We don't. So they're not humans. So I'm assuming that just my theory alone, that whenever they die, they're reincarnated into another body. They're given another body, and they take over. If you watch Ruby, that's what I'm thinking of right now.
I think they've been just in the gates, and since they basically won the war in the past, they were able to just do whatever they want. That's why all the gates opened up, and that's why the Silver Soldiers gave powers to the humans, because the powers didn't originate from the monarchs.
Are we not?
Why are we assuming that they gave what if it's just a byproduct of Earth being caught in whatever's going on? Like, what if they are receiving these powers, but it's not voluntary? You know what I'm saying? These powers are coming from somewhere, but not again voluntary. Because though, again, Sung Jin-woo's dad was still kind of surprised at it. Not necessarily surprised at his abilities, but kind of surprised. He was like, yeah, not surprising seeing where his power comes from. But he didn't necessarily expect him to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So he still knows that there was or expected there to be a shallower limit to his ability. You know what I'm saying? And again, I think he could be there because he knew, not necessarily that he knew that the barrier was going to break, because he may not even have knew that there was going to be a barrier being set up, but he could probably plainly see that the barrier was not going to hold. You know what I'm saying? We didn't necessarily see him get up and leave. But yeah, that's about it.
Look, all thing I can do is go along with the story. If the story says that there's a balance, then I gotta put a balance out there. So if I'm looking at Jinwoo and I'm saying that the Shadow Monarch was supposed to take over his body, but it did not, I'm thinking that this is happening to everyone. So when someone is killed or destroyed, then the Monarch takes over the new body. Therefore, I'm looking at the Silver Soldiers and the ones that were shown at the very last panel, right before Jinwoo, he killed Baron, and it showed the Silver Soldiers, the ones that had the different garb on that looked totally different than all the other ones. I'm assuming those are the upper echelon. Those are the ones that compare to the Monarchs. So if the other Monarchs, when they die, are getting new bodies, I'm going to assume if there's a balance, like the story says there's a balance, that the Silver Soldiers are going to give their powers, are going to take over humans as we're seeing them now. Nation levels aren't something that are supposed to be thrown away because Mrs. Sellner said that they're kings. The people of brilliant light. She like separated them from Jinwoo, which she said that was darkness. So if there's Jinwoo equals darkness and the next levels equals light, you got to put them comparable in power at least, because there is an opposite and equal reaction to the darkness, which are the Monarchs.
If it was compared to power, I understand your point,
right?
But I feel like she wouldn't be so shook because, like, she tested other national countries. It was alluded to since there's one in America, but she was like sweating and she was like freaking out
because she's never seen nothing like that before.
Yeah, but it was the same level of power. I feel like she would be like, "Oh, this is unusual," or like something like that. But like seeing what's inside of Jinwoo, I feel like, "Oh shit! Like this is something crazy. Like this is way too strong." So I feel like
if it's something you've never seen before, then how do you react to it?
I mean, just like yo, like what is this? Like this is weird. Like she shouldn't be sweating if they're the same power. That's what I'm saying. Like if it was something different, her expression would probably be different at that moment in time. But she was like freaking out. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like Monarchs are way stronger than regular national countries because I mean.
Look, this is the Jinwoo show. We already know what's gonna happen, bro. Everybody's gonna be fodder. Jinwoo's gonna say the day. It's the same thing, just like with Goku, bro. Yes, Dragon Ball reference. I did it for you, Trent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're saying Jinwoo's okay. Look, okay. Let's just take it back to like the beginning of these episodes that we do. Jinwoo's taking his L. I've been waiting on it forever, so he's not gonna take an L. Of course he is.
He might take the L from like other Monarchs.
That's what I'm saying. He will take the L from other Monarchs.
Maybe.
I'm getting.
Do you guys think he can potentially take the L from Daddy Will?
Nah.
Oh no.
Nah.
But from birth of Evil Wu, but it's Daddy Wu.
Got that daddy strength, bro.
Daddy Wu versus Sung Jin Woo, bro. Y'all can't, you know what I'm saying?
You thought it was the Monarchs, but it was me, Dia.
But now here's when it comes to Miss Sellner. Now, of course, she described her stuff as a brilliant light or whatever. But do you like? Here's the thing. I don't know, and maybe I'm just tripping, but I would think that maybe she'd be able to see that it would be the angel things. You know what I'm saying? That she'd be equally, or if not more, freaked out. You know?
Y'all.
So yeah.
And also, if they're comparable too, if you think so, then that will mean that maybe the national country should be able to level up. Because maybe Jinwoo is able to level up because he's a monarch. He has probably stronger powers. Like if you're saying they're both balanced, why are the national level hunters are stagnant? They don't level up. They can't at all. But if they're the actual angels, I feel like they wouldn't have a problem. That's what I'm saying. I feel like they just have some portion of their own power. And it's not like them inside.
What if the angels are still bound to the same rules that everything else is bound to? You know what I'm saying? Besides the...
We're not saying the Monarchs level up either.
Right.
I'm not sure what Jinwoo's deal is, but...
Right. Now, here's the thing. Somebody also said to you, and this was early on in the chat, basically saying, like, where the Shadow Monarch is now. The architect was basically talking, like, when it was saying it's like demise, it was basically talking to the Shadow Monarch as if it was still present somewhere, either in like the just aura or whatever, or within Sung Jin Woo. You know what I'm saying? Separate from Sung Jin Woo, as if it was like, you know what I'm saying? So are we gonna see him again And
I personally wouldn't. I think like the original Shadow Monarch somehow died, and maybe like the creator, the architect, was trying to find the vessel to cultivate the Shadow Monarch for him to actually take over. So I don't think he could like come back in his own original form because he was already dead. That's what I'm assuming. I'm not too sure, and I feel like the other monarchs were, they're still alive and everything.
Right, and so with the architect, because he did say this chapter as well, where basically like his real body is somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So
The architect's body is real body somewhere else. You're saying?
Yeah, that's what he said earlier in the chapter. Am I mistaken?
Yeah, he said that. He said maybe the architect's body is somewhere else.
Yeah, his body.
Yeah,
His original.
So
body.
will we have? Right. So will we assume that? Are we assuming that the original body is done for, or is he also still alive?
No, he's definitely still alive.
Right,
yeah, I think he's still alive.
He just doesn't have control over the system anymore.
Yeah.
So then, what is his role now? Are we see him again?
I would assume we would.
I'm definitely assuming he's going back to the Monarch and say, "Hey, I failed in my mission."
And I feel like he was just subordinate of the original Shadow Monarch. Like he wasn't even on the level of like other monarchs or anything like that.
He was supposed to be more important, in my opinion. Not necessarily more important. More important, maybe not stronger. Apparently, at least in Sung Jin Woo's case, but he at least had some type of control over the. I don't think the monarchs have the same type of hands-on control that the architect has. So I would say the architect's more important than the monarch when it comes to hierarchical problems or abilities rather. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Makes sense.
If anything of this stuff I said was right, y'all, it's gonna be a problem. Y'all gonna hate me. I swear to God.
Right. Which part you're saying you think if it's right?
Listen to this.
Look, if the nation levels are anywhere comparable to the monarchs,
you're not right.
That's definitely not going to happen. It just wouldn't even make a good balance.
No one is going to be a problem. If it happens, I'm not sure if JD is remembering this part, but if it happens, it's going to be a problem.
I just don't believe that.
Yeah. Why can't they level up though? I feel like if they're so different from other hunters, then why are all the hunters not able to level up?
Because it's
unless
the system.
They receive
the system is what makes Jinwoo level up. It would level up.
But
nobody else has a system.
But that's part of the original Shadow Monarch's power, though. At the end of the day, it was like levels for him to access the true power of the original Shadow Monarch. Like you could just think about Jinwoo being on level 1 and the original Shadow Monarch's on level 10, and his body wasn't ready to take in all that power.
Right.
So the system created all these obstacles for him to get ready, for him to run all these miles,
like hero reference,
these push-ups. So like when he was able to reach all that power, I feel like there's going to be a cap. Like honestly, like when he gets all the power, maybe it's not at this point, but like he's going to be like, the full power original Shadow Monarch.
But at the same time, he was doing that so that the original Shadow Monarch come back in Jinwoo's body. He had to get him strong enough for that. That was the whole point of the leveling system. It wasn't for Jinwoo to get stronger. It's for his body to get strong enough to accept the original Shadow Monarch or the one that we saw in the past to take over his body.
But in turn, like the Jinwoo will still have to be able to use the powers, because even if he's the vessel, he's still using that body to use his own powers.
Yes.
So in turn, is doing it for the original Shadow Monarch, but still building up that body, which Jinwoo is the body, to be able to use that power.
That's the reason for the system. The system wasn't for everybody. The system was to make Jinwoo strong enough to be a vessel. So that's why nobody else has it. There might be a limit or a cap to it, but at the same time, it was for Jinwoo to become the vessel. That's the only reason why the system was created.
So are you saying the national rank hunters, do
not have whatever this is? No.
Exactly. So how would you compare them to Jinwoo?
Because we don't know how strong they are compared to how strong Jinwoo is now.
No, bro. That's the thing is that's why I feel like this is a ridiculous argument, because at the very least, at the most, depending upon which nation rank hunter it is, they may be able to fight physically with Sung Jin-woo, as far as like when it comes to brute strength, maybe, and that's still a reach, because here at the current level he's leagues, and you're past level 100, and let's say a level 100 is the cap of human capability. And that's just me reaching there. But I'm just saying, as far as argument purposes, I think that people can't really bang with him like that. You know what I'm saying?
But we don't
Now-
know that. We haven't seen it yet.
Now, again, true, but again, that's just brute strength. Now, when it comes to adding Sung Jin Woo's ability, he's shitting on them cats. You know what I'm saying? It would have to be another instance, just like it was in this dungeon, where his powers were like shot to where he couldn't, or to where he couldn't use them. You know, to where they would have a chance. Like, I don't care if the other Chinese do with 2 blades or whatever. I don't care if he got better blade abilities than Sun Jin Woo or whatever. Nobody is really squaring up with him 1v1.
I mean, there are plenty of instances where someone looked overpowered, and whether it was speed or its power, that they won. I mean, there's plenty of instances where you can look at that in any series that someone overcame something that looked impossible. So I mean, I get Sung Jin Woo can have shadows and have Baru, and he can have all that kind of stuff. But I mean, you're not gonna make someone as overpowered as Sung Jin Woo not have him lose. He's gonna lose, Trent. So tell me how he's gonna lose.
He's not going to lose to National Rank Hunter.
Yeah, he definitely
like
gonna lose.
this is a regular monarch.
100%. So it's gonna be another monarch or his dad or somebody like he is surpassed. No nation rank hunter is just gonna come and put him in his place, and then what? Check him and then be like, "Yo, you gonna listen to the Hunters Association, or you gonna listen to me who only wants to do these things for the billions anyway?" That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Blaine
You know what I'm
always
saying?
calling me out, though. I swear to God.
That ain't gonna happen.
What
He gonna
Blaine
like-
said, bro.
Oh yeah, Blaine, I'm digging in. Like, don't let me be anywhere like halfway right. You will never hear the end of it. At least on the video. I don't go that crazy.
Yeah, I just don't
Don't
see
worry.
it, bro.
Don't
Again,
want the full
about his dad. Like, here's the dad thing is risky because that's just a little flyby theory. I'm just saying, if I only say the dad thing as far as the Japan being held in place, because that's like the only thing I can think of that makes sense of why Japan would still be like or not leveled. Again, unless this nigga time unless the overhyped Thomas Andre comes and finishes this shit itself.
Thomas Andre has his
Well-
own S-rate dungeon in America, so he's good,
Right. So like I don't see
and he will clear
if
that
there's any-
dungeon.
if there's any shell of Japan, the only person that could stop it right now is the only other guy that's there, which is Sung Jin Woo's dad. That could be post the most like the bigger part of the tragedy, or maybe his dad dipped and Japan's just gone, and this whole argument is just stupid. But I
Japan
don't
is gone, bro. His dad is not intervening.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to step in.
He's not
It might
intervening.
mess up the prophecy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, like when Jinwoo becomes original, when he like comes back and then he actually starts taking action, the other monarchs might find out. I might want to kill him again because they already did in the past, and that's how I feel Jinwoo actually will take his first L, because those are other monarchs capable to like go to toe with him, and who knows, they might just gang up on him. Like, like you never know. So I feel like he's going to take that L there. But like the national ranks, like I feel like there's no way, like even in story wise, they will go after Jinwoo.
Okay, so what is stopping them so far?
The shadows.
What?
What is stopping the monarchs from destroying everything? There's got to be an opposing force. So what is the opposing force?
Wait, what do you mean? Like
there's been a war going on since Jiru's memories for so long. The monarchs versus these angel looking things, right? So if this war has been going on for so long, where is the opposing force for the monarchs? Like they came in looking for the brilliant light or the what is they call the light things that they came in looking for. They're looking for it. Like, what is the opposing force? The humans aren't nothing to them, apparently. So the nation levels aren't anything to them, and they can take them out whenever they want to. What is the opposing force? What is stopping them from destroying the world?
Probably just the access of actually getting to the world. That's probably why they have all these gates open now. I feel like they're making the move right now.
I mean, the actual monarchs, if they're stronger than Jinwoo or strong as Jinwoo, somewhere around there. They don't need gates. They can take over anything they want to right now. So what's the opposing force? There's got to be opposing force stopping them and their armies from getting there. If they can open up S-rank gates, they say this did now. If Jinwoo's the only thing that can stop them, then I don't see. It's got to be an opposing force here somewhere.
Prophecy.
The prophecy is all the S-rank gates opening. That's the prophecy.
And it was never
it might be another part to the prophecy.
That's the opposing force. Are the angels coming back? Give me the angels coming back. Show me an opposing force to stopping them for destroying the entire universe. What is
I think Jinwoo's just going to stop the monarch somehow.
By himself? If he takes
all right. Okay, guys, hold up. We still have a lot of talk. We still haven't even talked about the damn giants and what
the giant monarch.
What impact. Okay, so let's get off of this.
Jeez, how long have we talking?
We've been talking for a minute, and we haven't even discussed the giants. So let's talk about the giants real quick. We're gonna end it there, and let's talk about the giants. What is everybody thoughts on the giants that's coming out the gate?
I feel like it's basically Clan of Giants, and the leader is going to be the giant monarch. That's what I feel is going to happen.
So we all in agreement on the giant monarch?
Yes, he was dressed like the other monarch dude. Did you peep that? Like his necklace, his little fur gear type shit. He was kind of dressed-ish like the other monarch that was.
I don't even think that's him, man.
You don't think
here's
that's
the thing.
monarch?
I would only see. He could be, maybe, but why? Like he was huge. He grabbed the giant's head.
That could have just been a general.
That's what I'm saying. Like
a general. Now, keep in mind, these guys said that is the top tier monster. Like that's
for an A-ranked gate.
That's an A-ranked gate. This is an S rank. So is it? JC might be right on this,
but it could be different though. Just like
JC,
the double dungeon was a C rank gate from the hunter's view in it, but obviously like the architect was there, and he's way stronger than a C rank boss.
Okay, but that's a double dungeon that wouldn't have registered on any magical scale that they usually, scale anything by. So they read the magical energy, T-rate gate, double dungeon. They didn't know anything about it. But any gate,
who's to say that's the same with this gate? It's like the biggest gate they've seen so far.
Yeah, and if you're in S rank, you can't really scale. Like you can't really scale at that point because you lost in the political sauce. There's the S rank dips into the nation rank and all of that. You can't really scale how difficult that is. Now, to think that this giant is not the monarch, that would either mean somebody is even bigger than that guy in that dungeon.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Which would be crazy.
Because
I feel like that would just be like too much power.
Yeah, that's wild.
Okay.
That's
like
he slashed ignorantly big.
Yeah, he slashed the whole barrier like with one swing, along with building. Like, why would they bring like someone else that more powerful than him? Just throw him to the side.
Okay, think about it like this, right? Yuri Olov, yes, was strong with his barriers, but he's not a fighter. The same way as the architect. I mean, Cha Hien is not a pushover to any other gate, but the architect, he's nothing. Same way with Choi, the same way with Bach. Like, just any other regular gates, these people are very strong. But at the same time, I mean, you're talking about, like, the first things that came out of the dungeon break were, like, things you would see that are bosses in an A-rank dungeon that take S ranks to clear. So you have an S-rank dungeon. The first things that come out are A-rank bosses. Of course, the next thing that comes out after it is going to be even stronger just because it threw one thing out the way and broke a barrier of an S rank that we see are fodder in this series now.
It was stated though he's the best utility support hunter in the world, like with support abilities alone, and he easily held 2 S rank hunters without like just drinking whiskey, just letting them chill in their barrier. I mean, like other S rank hunters, like they're nothing to him really because he has that barrier. So it kind of showed us like the pinnacle of like the barrier that he set up. Okay. Which is his forte. So it wasn't really like the giant going against Yuri Olaf. It was him going against the barrier that he prides himself in. So for him to just destroy that completely, there's no way that's like a A-rank boss or anything. That has to be the monarch, the giant monarch.
Okay, so
now and also he took the nigga's head. He took the nigga's head and just bro, like that is some boss level type stuff. He just treated him as if he was just a mere foot soldier. And like to Savvy's point, or look at Orlov's face. Like it's pure terror.
He
okay.
Knows I got you. I'm ready. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? He knows that gate is slashed, bro. Upon slashing the gates, he didn't just get like he didn't just like struggle and barely break through. He slashed the gates, and then basically the whole Tri-County area, at least the skyscraper buildings. Like you just saw the buildings separate. Look at the size comparison. He's just gonna squash Orlov and keep it pushing.
Orlov was very confident in his gates, right? I mean, not his gates, his barriers, right?
Truckloads of mana cores. It wasn't even his abilities. He had not only his abilities, he had everything catered to him to handle it. You know what I'm saying? And it was still a wash.
Right. So I'm going to ask you this question. So Orlov was confident, more than confident, in his barriers, correct? He was the strongest among support hunters, correct?
He was confident that was going to be an A-rank dungeon, and he was confident that he could handle A-rank bosses.
Right.
So we can't say he was confident to handle other high-tier monsters.
Well, the monsters that came out, at least for he knew they were around A-rank. He thought that he could handle that. I mean, like it's the same thing that happened early in the story. Who was the strongest hunter in Japan that was thought to be nation level?
No, he was trying to. I don't think anyone.
But he was the strongest. He was the strongest hunter in Japan, was he not?
In Japan, yeah.
Yes, the strongest in Japan. And what happened to him? He
got
off-screened. He got off-screened.
He wasn't classified as like one of the best hunters in his specific class.
He was an entire country.
And he got his wrist broke by a sub-level, I'm pretty sure at that point in time, sub-level 100 Sung Jin Woo.
No, he didn't get his wrist broke. He scared him.
But you know what I mean. He got retired.
Yeah, he got scared. He understood that was death coming his way because Jin Woo is a force. But at the same time, he got his head taken off. He got off-screen by Baru, and he was the strongest in his country. That's the thing. That's the same thing. I mean, like Soul Leveling does this great. They hype up someone. They say they're the best at a certain thing, the best in the country, and then basically off screens them to show you how they're worthless.
But I think that's the first time they stated that Yuri Olaf is the best in his specific field. They didn't say that with any other hunters at all. Like he was supposed to be the best out of the best.
That was the same with. Well, that was kind of the same with Goto in Japan. Like it was like Goto was on a whole nother level, not nation level, but just like compared to everyone in Korea and probably a few other people around the world, he's on a whole nother level.
He was supposed to be that dude.
So he was supposed to be that dude. They hyped him up to be that dude.
So we're gonna say that it could be right, like 100%. I'm not saying I could be right. I could be totally wrong. This could be the monarch of the giants. The second thing that comes out that gate is the monarch, and that was it. Could be, and he would have the power to actually do that. He one swing, it's over. The gates. I mean, the barrier is done. I just think that from the other stories, just like with when he got tusked, or when he went to he got was it Egress, any other gate that we saw Jinwoo go into, because those are the gates we saw people go into, is mainly Jinwoo. There he goes in the gate, he goes to the middle of the gate, and he fights whatever boss is there. It is definitely in the middle. So therefore, like if the actual end boss comes out, that's the first time it's ever happened that the end boss is at the beginning. So I'm just going by the story. I don't even think that's the end boss.
I mean, that would make sense, but
I'll give you that.
It was like a way bigger gate, though. And I feel like this is like the beginning to the end. Like the prophecies coming to fruition. So I feel like these ain't regular gates anymore. Yeah, I feel like the whole armies are coming out. And like that's why the big dude came out, which is I'm assuming the giant monarch.
Okay. It could be. I can't say you're wrong. It could be. I don't know. So it could be. But what if he's as big as the gate itself? Because that one that showed up wasn't as big as the gate. What if he's that big? What if he's a giant of giants? That's what I want him to be, at least. At least. Give me that much. But if that's him, he's strong enough. I can admit that.
All right. So
Seraph, damn it. Why you just
Seraph he just chilling. All right, so we need grades on the chapter, y'all. Scale of 1 to 10. Is it mid, fire, or was it just straight trash? Seraph, let's start with you.
10.
10 out of
It was a
10?
JC.
great chapter, and it brought out all these questions for everybody here. It was an incredible chapter for it to be able to be this high.
JC.
We got to go 10 out of 10, of course. I mean, why not? What's up, Brian? I didn't see you were in here.
Savage.
I'll say 10.
Okay. Trent. God damn it, Trent.
We don't,
Okay.
So we don't trust Trent with his grades right now.
All right, I'm gonna give it a 10 too. Trent, are you back? Yes, no, maybe somewhat. No,
Maybe so.
okay. No, all right, he's eating Chipotle.
Yeah.
Oh, you couldn't hear me.
Yikes.
You couldn't hear me. My bad. For some reason, I thought you'd be able to hear me.
Oh shit!
I said, I was like giving it a 10.
Whoa, that's a first.
About time. They were talking about in Discord. You never give anything a 10 for season 2.
No. I am not giving it a 10.
Hold on, what? Excuse me?
First of all, why you
what you
niggas,
giving?
what niggas are saying? What in Discord? No,
Discord, they were asking like when did Trent give a chapter a 10 out of 10 in season 2.
I tell you what, motherfucker, it won't be today.
Why?
What you giving it, Trent? What you giving it, fam?
This was a good chapter. I'm
Right.
not gonna give it an 8. Don't worry about that.
What do you
Don't worry
want?
about that. It's
What
high.
do you want?
It's higher than an 8. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a
8.5.
If it ain't a 9.5, bro,
It's gonna be an 8.5.
bro, you had so many questions come for this one chapter. You were so hyped when you saw that giant. You were hyped when you saw Papa Wu.
We saw your reaction, so
Bruh!
what do you act like? What do you act?
When
I'ma
he
give the
passed
chapter-
out, you even said, "Man, we needed this."
Bet
give it
money is
chapter
gonna be
a 9.
8.5.
I'm gonna give
A
it chapter
9?
a 9. Yep.
Okay.
I need to ask you, what are you
Yeah,
looking
that's a
for
9.
in a chapter that you give it a 9? Like you want
Now,
the entire story to be folded out for you
Better.
until you get
Now
10?
hold on. Now here's the thing. Again, y'all just passing out 10s all willy nilly.
It's not-
There can only be a few perfect chapters. You know what I'm saying? Now we have got a slew of great chapters, but this is still the build up. And I got a lot of questions, but have I got a chapter yet with not only the explanations that I need, but some bodies being snatched or something dope happening? Not 100% yet. And those are the ones I'm gonna say
Bro,
for
you
chapter.
got
Your
your
face
is
you
in
got
your
Daddy
reaction say
Woo, you
otherwise.
got Chin Woo.
No,
Wake-
a 9 is a good. Y'all acting like I'm disrespecting and giving
You
them
are
9. That's a
disrespecting the
great
chapter.
Give it
number.
enough.
I'm tired of
Trent,
you right now.
Have
I
you never gave a
cannot.
chapter a 10 before?
No.
No,
Never.
Out of all the
Never.
chapters solo leveling, none of them like
No. At
What?
least not since we've been doing. I can't recall. I have to go back. I may have given it one early on in the podcast, but I have seldom given them 10 out of 10s during the podcast since we've been
Yeah,
rating them.
that makes sense. That makes sense
Since
now.
we've been rating them as a group. Now, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But for sure, there have been GOAT chapters, especially upon a reread. Some of those might change given what I know now. But yeah, again, I'm trying to save my 10s, man. You guys can't give it like what's your criteria?
I need to
10?
know the negatives to a chapter.
There's
Oh
no,
my God.
there's really no.
You can't say there's no negatives and not give it a 10. You
Here's the
have to
thing.
have takeaways.
No, there is because I can say that this chapter was good. It moved the story,
Yes.
but it still didn't give me everything I needed.
What did
Am
you
I
need?
like? What do you mean, bro?
What do you?
I need
I'm just,
everything.
you can't have everything.
Okay, now here's the thing. We went through this whole. We just came out the Carthon Temple, a double dungeon, some shit that's
Yes.
been being hyped.
Yeah. You didn't get none of those
We're-
in either.
Listen, we are still, for the most part, And I would say at this point, still 65% theorizing on
Yes.
the stuff that we saw. So we don't have a lot of information yet. We've seen a lot, but we still have questions to what's actually going on.
Because that's
You
how
know what I'm
stories
saying?
work. Yes.
Right, exactly. So once we get those things to come into 100% just like solidified fact instead of theory, it's when you could be like, okay, yo.
You want
And
the
the thing
author to
about
give
what
you everything before you give it a 10. Is that what you're telling me right now?
No. All I'm saying is I'm not giving the chapters up until the Great Ninja War 10 out of 10.
No.
He's about
Don't
to
The
give the
chapters,
very
the 10
last
out of
chapter
10.
a solid
You know,
The
11.
Great Ninja War was mid to begin with. Why
Okay,
even don't you do
I'm
this?
using it as an example. Now,
Wait,
look,
wait,
I'm not
wait.
giving. I'm
Yes.
using an example. I'm not giving Madara. I'm not giving Madara coming out the casket a 10 out of 10. I'm giving that mug a 9 because at the end of the chapter, all I've seen him do is come out the casket. Now, when he come out there and he wash thousands of niggas, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 10 out of 10. You
All right,
know what I'm
wait,
saying?
And
wait,
then when he
Trent,
asked the
Trent,
question
what
of,
did
do you
you
want my shadow
Please,
clones
please
to
help
have
me,
some
please.
what did you rank
That's
the
a
last
10.
chapter of the chapter when Jimbo was fighting the stone statues and the big one, and he was like reflecting back to chapter 1 when he was like fighting all of them, and then he actually gained the powers. What would you rank that chapter?
I was still in the same ranges. I've been heavily like these guys can attest to that. I have not really wavered from the 8 to 9 range, 8 to 9.5 range.
That's crazy. That put like everything together. Like
all of this is good content, but you know what I'm saying?
I don't know what
I ain't there yet.
I'm gonna need another drink for this one.
Like Trent wants like everything.
I can understand what Trent's talking about though. Like he's waiting for like the big finale. I feel like there's like each arc has like really great moments. Like when Jinwoo came to fight Baru, when he fought the original stone statue and the architect. I feel like all of those are like 10 out of 10 chapters for their own represented arcs. But I feel like just Trent is waiting for that big one to be like, yep, that's the 10. So I can understand his point. But yeah, everyone's different.
I'm very glad that you can understand his point, but the rest of it, like, you have to.
No.
It's all a snapshot. It's a frame. It's chapters. Like Trent's waiting for everything to drop. Like,
no. There
not everything, but he wants everything. Like he wants a bit of everything in it. Give me enough so I can have my questions answered. Give me enough fighting so I can have my hype just the way that I want it. And don't let me just don't let the cliffhanger be too much. Because
here's
then
the question for JC.
You can feel skeeted. So I don't want.
Here's the question for JC.
Go ahead.
In the last 5 to 7 chapters, have you not, at each time that we came together, been itching for more answers?
That's the point. That's the point of a story. You want more. They keep you coming back for more.
Look. I understand the point of writing and developing a story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm talking about as far as your satisfaction by the time the chapter ended. Were you? Of course, yes, the chapter was great, but did you get what you were hoping to get? Each chapter that you opened up each week.
But that is storytelling and that is writing. Of course you didn't get everything like literally.
No, I'm not saying that I need everything in that chapter, but we saw flashback upon flashback and scene upon scene, but really all we did was get more questions and have more theories, which is what we do or whatever. Yes. But there was not just, again, even as Sung Jin-woo said, the guy didn't answer shit. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, even Sung Jin-woo agrees. No, he ain't getting no answers.
Because they can't give you everything in the next 10 chapters. Not give you everything and then watch you like, okay, yeah, you know everything that's supposed to happen. Now here's some action scenes. Of course it's not going to do that.
Right. I understand the story writing formula. But even Sung Jin-woo was saying in the story, like, I did not get the answers that I basically came for.
Because if Jin-woo knows, that means that we know.
Right. And those chapters, and again, those chapters are the chapters that I'm saving it for. The chapters that bring shit together, like the beginning chapters, bro. Like
you're waiting for the aha chapter. Aha, got it.
You could say that about like the architect when you found out about the architect and the origins of his powers. That's like an answer like he was trying to figure out since like chapter 1 or 2.
He didn't get that at 10 either.
Like there are 10 out of 10 moments. Like here's the thing: I could go again upon reread. I could go back and say the return to the Carthon Temple it's a 10 out of 10 moment. Is the whole chapter and how we got it, depending upon how it broke down, necessarily a 10 out of 10. No,
the delivery when the angel came.
I cannot.
I'm just saying the separation between, let's say, and again, I'm just throwing random numbers. Let's say it's chapter 100 and 10 whatever. If we ended the chapter getting into the Carthon Temple or him getting the key or whatever it is, like depending upon what else happened in the chapter, I may not give it a 10 out of 10 because I'm giving the chapter a review in whole. But there are 10 out of 10 moments, plenty throughout the story.
I don't know when the next 10 out of 10 is gonna be, but whatever it is, I'm going to break down that chapter to figure out what you want. Because there are plenty of 10 out of 10 moments. Like literally, they're there. I'm not sure what you're looking for, but whatever it is, I can't wait to see it. And it better be the best chapter solo.
It'll be the end.
Before I had to delete my other videos, there were probably some 10 out of 10s in there.
Yeah,
probably. It's crazy. But all right, we're gonna end it there for today.
Nice.
I hope everybody enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like. Also, subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord where this conversation probably will pick up yet again. And follow us on Twitter, Hunters Association Podcast. Anybody else want to say something before they go? No.
Nation level is
stronger
than
2020. 2021. Coming 2021. Return. Arise.
Okay. Solo level anime 2021. Got you. All right. So I'm JD, TheOtakuFix. We have JC, aka alwaysjcarson, Seraph, Project Webtoon, Trent motherfucking Money, y'all know who it is, and Savvy Reacts. All of our individual channels are in the description. Please go sub to each and every one of us. We have plenty of content of all kinds for everyone to enjoy. Savvy, other than your YouTube, which is in the description below, let everybody know where they can find you at.
You can find me on Twitch, Savvy Force, Twitter, Savvy Nut, Instagram, Savvy Nut. Yeah. Patreon, Savvy Nut too. So yeah.
All right. And we will catch you guys next week, hopefully. And hopefully we'll have some more answers and Trent maybe give it a 10.
I won't be here next week.
Well, Seraph won't be here next week.
Because I'm going to be in Texas.
I don't think none of us is going to be here. Is any of us going to be here next week? Because, next week is...
next week is the holiday season.
Yeah, so will any of us be here next week?
I'll be here. It's a Wednesday.
I'll be here. Yeah, it's a Wednesday.
Okay. Well, we're going to try to be here. But until next time, we are out. Peace.
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 Yeah, guys.
Peace.